Devin McEwen. He'll get ahead of steam, and he will make his way into Hornet territory, and he's gone. Touchdown for the score.
Zoe Bozic, daughter of Lucas Bozic.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Eagle Stadium here in Lindale, Texas for tonight's district matchup between the Lindale Eagles and your Jacksonville Indians. I'm Ryan Travis, joining you tonight, taking over the play-by-play duties for Aaron Swink, who's a bit under the weather tonight. So alongside me tonight in the booth, I'm joined by Todd and Paul Travis. And as always, down on the sideline tonight is the man in the hat, Matt Montgomery.
Hey, how are you tonight, Ryan?
I'm doing great, Matt.
Well, we got on the air. It's a little shaky, but we're here. Lindale, what a great stadium. They've redid everything except their internet. So here we are complaining about the internet again.
Some of these road games we get to are just, you never know whenever you're about to show up, and you always hope for the best, but it's all.
At Tomato Bowl, Jacksonville slowed it down. I know the game didn't turn out like you wanted it to, but it started off that way. And because the defense, they've got to get some turnovers. We've talked about this over and over and over again. Jacksonville is minus 13 on takeaways. They've only gotten one defensive fumble, no interceptions. I don't know of any team I've ever heard of that has that low on turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. That just the other team. And I got to say this too. The offenses that Jacksonville's been playing, they haven't been turning the ball over very much either. They've done a very clean play. And so we've seen these kinds of things that from Jacksonville that's caused them to be in this position, having not won a game yet. Hopefully the bye week helped. They got a couple of players back, and that's going to help them tonight against Lindale. Folks, we want to remind you this is part of our countdown to kickoff is brought to you by Micah Hoffbauer. Micah with Texas Farm Bureau. He can help you with all your life insurance, auto, homeowners. Call Micah Hoffbauer, JHS class of 1998. We appreciate Micah for sponsoring this part of our countdown to kickoff. Ryan, this is the 14th meeting between Jacksonville and Lindale. They first met in 1996, and I can tell you the stadium here looked totally different than this. It was a grass field. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, which, I mean, it looks different.
Well, throwing the bops. So if you put those four drops in there, he had pretty good not throwing the ball as well. And I know that, like you said, first game, getting used to things. And I also thought your coaching staff did a great job managing him in his first and only start at quarterback.
Yeah, he had a little hiccup early on. I think he was a little bit overexcited. Had a little situation where we had to call a timeout, let him catch his breath. But, yeah, very proud of him and how he responded.
Coach, defensively, again, you talking about stopping the run. As when we talk about –
they're going to go out and, execute to the best of their ability.
He had the bye week. I know in bye weeks are a lot of times to get some of the work on grades and kind of get caught up there. Talk about the bye week, what you think you guys got accomplished in a week where you didn't have a game on Friday.
Yeah, and we've certainly been waiting for the bye week to get some healing up done, and I think we did to an extent. We're still missing some key positions, and some depth primarily. But, it was a good week just to go back and focus on a lot of the fundamentals of the game. Throwing the ball, catching the ball, obviously blocking, but defensively spent a lot of time tackling, spent a lot of time on how to get off of blocks, block destruction, that sort of thing, some things that – we need to go back and revisit.
They've also dropped. If you're going to slow down Lindale, you've got to get some turnovers in this thing because they will just this part of our countdown to kickoff. Great friends, great business. Appreciate them doing that. Jacksonville now has come out of the locker room. They're warming on that offensive line. Players now getting lined up as the national anthem getting ready to be played by the Lindale Eagle Band, which is in the north end zone. I like the way they put the bands in the end zones like that.
As we honor our flag in this great nation with the playing of our national anthem, led by the award-winning four-time state champion, Pride of Lindale Eagle Band.
And this last week, how about that? We're set to go. Just not getting it done on special teams, particularly the kickoff team. How many times this year they've given up the big play? Now here's Clint Thurman, the senior quarterback for Lindale.
2 left, 1 right for the Eagles. Thurman gets the snap, running to his right.
Flag.
Flag comes in, brought down by Didi Mares.
6-yard tackle by number
Official
14,
telling
Didi Mares. Flag on the
offsides
play.
against Jacksonville. Line judge on this side of the field, immediately turning to Coach Holman. Now he's talking to Coach Gandy, the DC, and telling him it's the other side. Oh, somebody lined up offsides for Jacksonville. So there's one of those pre-snap penalties we talked about that has just been killing Jacksonville this year. Where's the ball? Lining up. Lindale's going to decline it with the pickup by Thurman.
That'll bring up 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 for the Eagles.
And this is what they do. I mean, they'll go no back, 1 back, and it's just like toss. It's just snap.
Thurman gets the snap, looks to his right, now runs left, finds a hole, gets near the first down marker.
Nice tackle by Gaskin and Trent Powell coming up from his safety position. Gaskin got there first, but not before Thurman on that kind of a delayed quarterback draw. Gets about 3 yards, just short of the first down. So it's 3rd and about a half yard to go for Lindale at the Jacksonville 20.
3rd and short, 3 right, 1 left for the Eagles. Man in motion. Thurman takes the snap, hands it off up the middle to Caleb Hart, who picks up the first down.
Caleb Hart runs for 8 yards.
Had that elbow kind of hurt him all the year, but he doesn't have anything on it tonight, no wrap or anything. And he throws a nice ball over the middle for the Jacksonville Bill McRae Ford first down. Great catch by Richards.
Walker in at quarterback once again. This handoff goes to Searles.
Nothing.
The Eagles were all over that one as they got Searles very quickly after that handoff, so that will give the Indians a loss of 2, it looks like. Bring up 2nd and 12.
Yeah, that play never had a chance as the defensive tackle that time helped make the tackle along with Caleb Walker for Lindale.
Walker takes the snap, finds Jermaine. Jermaine with a great move,
He's
cut to
gonna
the
score.
sideline, and he's gonna score.
49 yards for the score. Ryan Walker with a nice little slant pass route to Jermaine. And Ryan, this is what we talked about. If Jacksonville could just stay away from their mistakes and play some special teams, cover, don't put the ball on the turf, you can score on Lindale, and they did it right there. Here's Jesus for the extra point.
They did. That was a great drive there from Ryan Walker coming in for his first series.
Well, it sure was. Very poised back there, throwing the football.
Jesus Nunez in for the extra point. Extra points brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. This one with that score, the score now 14-7 with the Eagles leading with 6:12 left in the first quarter. We'll step away for just a moment. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times.
7. Jermaine Taylor back deep, ready to receive this kick from Seth Baggett.
There's the onside.
Onside kick goes out of bounds about the 46.
Ball is kicked out of
So
bounds, draws it
both
does
teams-
not go 10 yards.
Both teams throwing that dice tonight. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're Lindale, I mean, you might as well work on them at some point, I guess. It's the
Yeah.
last game of the season. So at the end of the first quarter, Lindale leads Jacksonville 21-7. We'll take a short break while we change ends. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
A high drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs. Welcome back to Eagles Stadium here in Lindale for the beginning of the at about the 36-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, with the ball there. Again, we call that four-down territory, but for Jacksonville, it's more than that. It's, you can't just keep giving the ball back to Lindale. You've got to take your possessions and make the most of them. And you're going to have to go for it in places like this where you might want to cough and corner it. No, you can't. You got to go for it. Here's Jermaine.
Mares in the backfield with Taylor. Taylor takes a snap, works to his left, trying to fight for the first down.
He is not going to get it.
Lindale has him held up about a yard short. So turnover on downs, and Lindale will get the football back with 11:53 left in the second.
And I think Jacksonville got a break on that a little bit. I think Didi Mares looked like he was going toward the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. No call by the official, thank goodness. But, again, nice job by Lindale. They had the box stacked up, and they knew who was going to probably carry the football, and they were ready for Jermaine. As the Eagles get the stop on 4th and 5, they'll take over at their own 34-yard line. Again, the Eagles 3 for 3 on their offensive drives in this first half already with 3 scores.
Thurman in the backfield gets the snap,
drops the ball,
drops it, able to pick it up, and Jacksonville is there defensively.
Yeah, that wet football right there, just dropped it and was able to get it down, but by the time he pulled it down, Thurman was wrapped up by number 53, Dominique Bowens. Also Dorsey in there to help him, but it was Bowens who was trying to strip that football because Thurman, once he recovered and got his hands on it, here comes Bowens and Dorsey trying to separate him from it and give Thurman credit for Lindale right there, hanging on a wet football.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 14. Thurman gets the snap, hands it off.
Nice job,
to
Zeke.
Caleb Hart, wrapped up.
Nice play by Zeke Whitaker right there. That's definitely going to be another opportunity for Zeke to get the bone crusher hit of the game, which he got a couple of weeks ago against Palestine. Bone crusher hit of the
game. To right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs. Welcome back to Eagles Stadium. Lindale taking the 28-7 lead with 4:45 remaining in the first half. Seth Baggett in for the kickoff for the Eagles. Looks like Jermaine, I believe, is back deep.
Yeah, that's Jermaine.
Deep kickoff from Baggett. This one
actually is Brennan Richards, but it's not going to matter in the end zone.
That one going to stop right on the goal line. Got very lucky that the referee blew that one dead, as Brendan Richards thought it was going to bounce into the end zone and go out for a touchback, and it almost just died right there on the one.
I mean, Baggett as a kicker, and I know you appreciate this as a former kicker, Ryan. I mean, he's a cat dog kicking the football. He had one a minute ago that went out of bounds at the 1-yard line. I mean, you couldn't have had a better kickoff right there. He is fortunate, is Brendan Richards of Jacksonville. So here's the Fighting Indians starting on their own 25-yard line. Let's see who they're going to have in at quarterback. It looks like it's going to be Jermaine checking in. Of course, Ryan Walker is with Jermaine.
Jermaine gets the snap kind of high, hands it off to Searles, who's got some room around the right side, finds a hole, and looks like Searles is going to pick up the Bill McRae Ford first down.
Boy, just gliding. Uh-oh, he's hurt. He's down. Let's see. Okay. Let's take a break. It looks like Mr. Searles is going to get checked on here on the Lindale sideline.
All right, while Searles is getting checked on, we'll step away. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the past 40 years, Swink Studio of Dance in Jacksonville has provided instruction in classical ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, and contemporary dance styles for students age 4 through high school. Select classes for adults and award-winning competition teams are also available. For more
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
Welcome back to Eagle Stadium. 31 seconds remaining here in the first half. Lindale leading Jacksonville 28-7. Injured player there was Dominique Bowens, but it looks like he is okay.
Yeah, he just got caught up in that mix master, and he was face planted on the turf. I thought it was more serious than that. He was reaching back for his back, and Jason Krause went out there and put the rub down on it, man. Got him up. What a job by Krause. Bowens walks off under his own power.
Good to see.
Only they're late. It'll be on the second half kickoff when you get the ball.
Yeah. Not what we need. Stupid decision right there.
Down 21-7, and 28-7. You had a chance maybe to go down and get a score. Boy, they turned around, and nothing hurts more than them getting a score at the very end of the half right there.
Yeah, well, we had opportunity early on. We get run a stretch and pop it for about 60 yards or more and fumble it. We've got to.
You can move the football. You're doing it.
I think we started finally figuring out we're going to have to hit them and wrap up a little bit. Had a couple of stops there midway through.
Spirit bomb. I want to fly. I want to fly.
Welcome back to Eagle Stadium here on the Whataburger halftime court as we start to dive into tonight's stats brought to you by Randy Gorham. I'll throw it over to Todd. We want to start. Remember if that was it, but we saw him on that drive where he came in and we ended up with the score.
I think that was the second.
It may have been. But either way, he came in very composed, looked really good on that first drive, and to go down and score, especially after the first drive did not go the way you wanted it to after some positive momentum going your way. A huge, huge way to step in for Ryan Walker at quarterback that we probably, we talked about Jermaine not being on the depth chart. I don't think Ryan Walker was even considered to be put on the depth chart at any point. And it's been big for him to step up and fill that role tonight. And he's done a good job so far. And it's been an interesting mix with him and Jermaine kind of taking turns on some possessions there. Because it is as we saw with the touchdown to Jermaine, it's vital that we have Jermaine in some form in the passing game.
On the field, yes. Yeah, we need him out there whether he's playing quarterback or playing receiver. Find a way to get him the ball and see if we can score. He definitely makes things happen.
He does. Go into the Lindale stats at all?
If you want to look.
In the first half, they gave up some big runs, especially to Thurman, who, a couple weeks ago had 300 yards on the number 1 team in the state. So we know of containing the Lindale offense some here in the first half.
So Lindale stats for the first half, they had 28 rushes for 202 rushing yards and 4 pass completions for a total of 98 yards. Let's see if we got some individual stats for Lindale. Quarterback Clint Thurman, 16 carries for 142 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. The second back, Caleb Hart, 7 carries for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. Emilian Johnson had 3 carries for 14, and Pat Weldon had 1 carry for 4 yards.
Yeah, big first half there for both Thurman and Hart. Hart was handed the ball a couple times, especially around the goal line, got 2 touchdowns. Doesn't have a ton of yards on the carries that he has, but does have 2 touchdowns. And, in the red zone, it seems like he's kind of been the go-to guy.
He has. I didn't look at size, but he looks like a pretty good sized running back when he goes up in there.
I think we have heights and weights here. So it looks like Caleb Hart, 5'10", 184. He's a junior.
Okay.
A freshman? Matt talked about that, a freshman.
6'2", 305. He's
15.
Look at the bottom, number 99.
I thought
the
he's
last one on the list.
6'2", 385 and almost. I was like, good gosh.
Camden Beeson, defensive line, 6'2", 305, freshman.
05.
Yep. That's a big kid. That is definitely a big kid.
Todd, you missed one there a second ago because when you were doing the stats for Lindale, I thought you were going to come on and say Lindale had 1 million yards.
Missed that opportunity, yeah.
A softball was laying.
Emilian Johnson with the great name could have easily been a nice play there.
I was so disappointed when you said he had 14 yards.
14 yards, yeah.
His name was called several times. So.
Well, that's what I was wondering for us. For Searles, he had the long run. I don't know how many yards it was, but it just seemed like he had more yards rushing than 74. So I was surprised, but I'll trust the computer system is right. But
if it's wrong, you just did something wrong.
I know.
So it is on you. It's not on the computer.
I think he had a couple good runs, but then he also had some.
He had some shorter runs.
Yeah,
as well.
There several stops. So, but that you're talking about.
It's Lightning's way far away and don't have to worry about that. So Jacksonville is going to get the football to start this second half with Lindale up 35-7. Got a late touchdown in the second quarter that really just, it's bad enough when you're down 3 scores and then bam, if you could have just got that one last stop.
The Lindale fans are making their way back into the stands, and it looks like some Jacksonville fans stuck around through the lightning delay.
Yeah.
So there's still a few people over there on the Jacksonville side.
Well, of course, the Crandall game got canceled. It was a non-district game. This game has ramifications. You can't just cancel it and say it's over because you need to finish it, even if you have to come back tomorrow and do it. So, guys, Lindale's going to be kicking off from the Jacksonville 45. There was a penalty against Jacksonville, personal foul on the last play of the first half, and they marked that off here. So kicking off from the 45 is Baggett. Wonder where this one's going to end up.
Baggett with the short pop-up left.
Oh, fumble. Get on it.
Jacksonville fumbles but able to jump on it as Zeke Whitaker comes up with it for the Indians, and that will give Jacksonville possession to start the second half.
Well, dismal statistics offensively for Jacksonville. I was listening to the stats, and it just didn't feel like they were that – it didn't look like they were that bad until I heard them. 4 first downs for Jacksonville in the first half. You got to do better than that. I mean, they had some nice plays. Of course, the 49-yard touchdown pass from Ryan Walker to Jermaine Taylor was the highlight, but, of course, there were some good runs by the freshman Searles. You got to string along some things, and you got to go score. As Jason Holman said at halftime, who cares how many yards you get? You've got to go score.
That is true. The Indians are definitely going to need to score if they're going to come back in this one. Ryan Walker starting out for the Indians, flips this one out to Trent Powell.
Yeah, and Powell just had to reach back for it a little bit behind him, and he was just able to catch the football and avoid the hit that could cause a fumble. He lost 2, 2nd and 12. Rain starting to kind of trickle down just a little bit, just enough to keep the ball wet, which if you're a defense, you love it. If you're
2 each way for the Indians on second down. Searles in the backfield alongside Ryan Walker. Walker takes a snap, runs to the right side, has a gap, but is met only a few yards upfield. Short gain there for Ryan Walker.
And they'll give him, we'll call it 5, though. Actually 4, so that makes it a more makeable third down and about 8.5 to go. Football just outside the Jacksonville 15 at their 16, so Fighting Indians in danger of going 3 and out on a possession to start the third quarter that you like to see something happen to change things.
Big third down here. Ryan Walker gets the snap, trying to find Jermaine. That one going to be thrown a bit short. And that will bring on Jesus Nunez to punt this one away here to start the second half.
Yeah, not a bad throw by Ryan Walker, as you said, just a little bit short and more to the inside as Lindale kind of boxed Jermaine out toward the sideline, and he just couldn't get back to the middle of the field, or he would have made that catch as good as he is getting to a football. So here's Jesus standing in his end zone. No, he's going to step out just outside the blue end zone and right about his 1-yard line.
Nunez looking to get this one away. Snap is kind of low, able to get it off, though. This one, a high ball, going to be fair caught inside Jacksonville territory. They're going to spot it about the 42 of Jacksonville.
Yeah, heck of a job by Jesus Nunez. He has done that all year long. A bad snap, no doubt. It dribbled back to him, and he was able to get it and get one step on his rugby run there. And Lindale put the pressure on him, but Jesus, all year long, he's just he's had to play shortstop, you know. Take those hoppers and try to get it out of there. I know one thing Jacksonville is going to be working on this offseason. That is snapping the football, not just kick extra points, field goals, and punts, but just on offense. So here's Lindale with their first offensive possession to start the second half. Good field position at the Jacks 43.
Thurman gets the snap, hands it off to Hart, who bursts through the Jacksonville line and is going to pick up about 6.
He'll get knocked down by Walker Dublin, the senior. Didi Marr is also in on the tackle. So Dublin getting some action. The senior who was out for a couple of weeks with an injury. He's one of those guys Jacksonville got back. He's playing a defensive tackle, actually, not linebacker.
Thurman takes the snap. Jacksonville almost getting him before he's able to get that one away as Dominique Bowens blasted through the offensive line there, and that one goes incomplete. That pass intended for Chad Ward.
I just had to laugh right there. I'm sorry. Trent Powell just went up to Casey Poe and kind of got in his face. If you can imagine that visual right there. 150 pounds, 305 pounds. That was kind of funny.
Thurman gets the snap, gives the handoff to Hart, makes his way around the right side and going to pick up the first down for the Eagles.
And Powell came in and tried to upend Caleb Hart. Hart just tried to jump over him, but Powell got enough of his ankles to flip him over. But it's still a first down for Lindale as they continue just to pound this rock, running the football.
9:40 and counting here left in the third quarter. 2 left, 1 right for Lindale. Thurman in the backfield.
Wheel
route.
out.
The snap. Fires right side, finds Hart. Going to be knocked out of bounds on the far side, but not before picking up another first down.
Boy, you could see Hart coming out of the backfield, and Didi Morris did a nice job. He just couldn't stay with him. He's just faster than Didi right there, and he gets on the edge and makes the catch. But to Didi's credit, he did not give up on it, and he makes the tackle, knocks him out of bounds at the Jacksonville 12.
Bring up 1st and 10 inside the red zone for Lindale. Thurman gets the snap, hands it off to Carson Plunkett.
Caleb Hart takes the handoff for a 2-yard gain.
That is Hart again. I thought that was number 4. Sorry.
You would think, and you're going to get to some point in the game where if you're Lindale, this is your last game.
Snap is back, kick is up and good. So Baggett extends the lead. Lindale now 49-7 with 4:09 here left in the third quarter. We'll step away for just a moment and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Headed the other direction with the dunk. Carmelo Claiborne
with 22 seconds remaining. What a great play from Roberto Munoz. Wade with an opportunity, spins in. What a goal. Lauren Wade gets Jacksonville on the board.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
Our one-of-a-kind mushroom Swiss burger is back.
And now it's an all-time favorite. You're going to love this burger. That au jus sauce on top.
The creamy au jus sauce.
Every bite's perfect.
It's not just a mushroom Swiss burger, it's a Whataburger mushroom Swiss burger.
Welcome back to Eagle Stadium. Lindale has just taken a 49-7 lead with 4:09 left here in the third. Baggett has this one teed up, pops it up to the left side. Mares, Lindale kickoff team. So Jacksonville will have 1st and 10 from their own 27, maybe 28.
Might want to slip Searles in over there where Mares is.
Yeah, that might be something they need to.
I'm sure they would figure that out. So Jermaine Taylor is not coming in on this series. It'll be Ryan Walker at quarterback, and Jermaine's not even in a receiver. I mean, he must have really yanked that arm throwing that football.
Well, let's hope Jermaine is okay.
It looks like he's fine. Well, he should have been in there. They're going to call timeout. I don't know what he's doing here. Jacksonville's going to call timeout.
I think Jacksonville only had 10 men on the field.
Well, I think Jermaine was the guy that he wanted out there, and Jermaine's pointing at this bad communication right there. I don't know what Jermaine was thinking, but he just took himself out. I thought he was hurt, but he's not hurt. He just took himself out.
I bet you can talk him into stuff for a buck.
And he wasn't supposed to do that.
Well, Jacksonville will take the timeout. Matt, you kind of wonder with a 49-7 game, you don't really ever want to talk about a running clock, but with it raining, and you really don't want this game to get delayed again.
Do you want
tonight,
my vote?
So
I'll vote right now. Run that clock. Get this one get it in the books.
I think
man.
you definitely. I mean, we've kind of gotten away with not having really any injuries so far, so you kind of just want to get out of this game and move on to next week. Jermaine in, takes the snap, hands it off to Searles.
I mean, you don't want to a 49-7 game being delayed for an hour or something for Lightning. I mean, let's just not do that.
3:45 and counting here left in the third quarter. Jacksonville with a 2nd and 8.
I've done the 2-day games before where you had the game on Friday night get postponed and then you got to go back the next day and finish it. Don't want to do those again. Those aren't fun.
Especially when you show up the next day and it's 49-7.
That's right.
Yeah. Jermaine takes the snap, hands it off to Searles. Searles trying to find some room. And there is not much there for Rodarius Searles. Going to gain a yard. That'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, in 2001, Jacksonville and Corsicana were playing at Tiger Field, and Jacksonville had the lead. It was a big district ball game. Jacksonville had the lead. Lightning came, couldn't finish it. Went back Saturday and lost.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Not a good night. So you want to get these in the books. 3rd and 7. Heavy rain coming down.
2 right, 1 left for the Indians. Jermaine gets the snap, hands it off to Searles. Searles tripped up. I'm not really sure.
That was a turf monster right there. I don't think
it kind of looked like a turf monster.
He just kind of lost his balance and just fell forward. Nobody really hit him.
And there was some room over here, so it would have been nice for Searles to be able to stay up there, but that'll bring up 4th and 6 for Jacksonville.
And check that. Yeah, that was Searles running the ball. He's frustrated with himself right now. Kind of embarrassed. I tripped over the turf. What am I doing? So here comes maybe the, what do you call the punter, the defensive guy or an offensive guy? He may be the offensive player of the game for Jacksonville, flipping the field. Jesus Nunez.
Yeah, Jesus back.
Oh, no.
For another punt. This one skips back to him, but he is able to get it away. That one takes a good bounce and then fielded by number 2 for Lindale, Aiden Warnell. And it was like the whole hands off to Searles. Good move there from
nice.
Searles, and another Bill McRae Ford first down.
Man, this is getting that. It's starting to become that Forrest Gump fat soppy rain. I mean, it's like big drops now.
A night where I'm excited to be inside a press box and not in the stands somewhere.
Well, the good news, it's not cold. That's okay.
That's true too. That's not very fun.
Searles.
Handoff goes to Searles around the right edge. Lots of room to run for Searles. And I believe he's going to pick up another Bill McRae Ford first down.
I tell you, Searles is starting to rack up some yards tonight. Running the football in this 4th quarter. As there's no running clock. They are keeping it tight. Raider games conditions. I mean, just from the
first down.
Not necessarily the score, but I mean just the conditions. Let's just get the game, get it over with before you have a lightning
That
play.
takes Searles over 100 yards rushing for the game.
All right.
Jermaine himself.
He gets a first down.
Going to pick up the Bill McRae Ford first down.
Boy, you love to see these guys for Jacksonville continue to compete. I mean, the game's basically over, but, man, you're still fighting. You're still clawing and scratching, getting extra yards. Searles and Jermaine, 2 consecutive first downs. And with Searles over 100 yards, quite a game for the freshman.
Yes, sir.
A really solid game from Searles so far, and you'd like to see him maybe punch this one in just a minute. Searles going to get the handoff, working to his right, met at the line by quite a few
look at Jermaine
Eagles,
shoving him. Oh, man.
A big push there, and Searles going to pick up about 5.
Officials now going to come in and see if Lindale caused that fumble right there. Boy, you saw it surge. That's because Jermaine Taylor came in and just shoved the entire pile forward. And there's no fumble. Searle still had the football. I don't know what Lindale was pointing at.
That'll bring up second down.
Number 11, Caleb Walker.
And if you're Jacksonville, you just want to finish on a good note here.
Oh, you do. I love that little hat pat right there by Jermaine, the senior, to the freshman. Just kind of patting him on the head, saying, nice job, young fella. Let's go punch it in.
2 right, 1 left for the Indians. Jermaine takes the snap.
Yeah, they're going to call it back.
Man, I can't be a call, but Jermaine had a huge hole over there on that right side where he was headed.
I really get frustrated when receivers jump. There is absolutely no reason for a wide receiver,
especially in the rain right now, where it's pretty much a given that we are running the football.
And they're not throwing you the ball. Just don't jump. And it wasn't just one of them; it was 2 of them.
Well, that'll back it up, make it 2nd and 10. So 2 right, 1 left for the Indians. Jermaine in the backfield alongside Searles. Jermaine going to take the snap, runs to the right again, and another good run from Jermaine. Going to pick up about what they just lost with that penalty, so that should bring up about 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd down and 4.
Lots to work on. I know there's one more game left at Tomato Bowl, but there's a lot to work on in the offseason for Jacksonville as far as, in my opinion, just discipline and some football IQ situations that I know that they need to work on. And the effort's there. There's no doubt they have the effort. They're trying. They're working hard. Just got to work smarter.
Jermaine takes the snap, trying to find some room around the edge. Just a little short. That'll be 4th and 1. Another good run for Jermaine, just not quite able to break that last tackle.
Yep, and he was really frustrated when he got up right there. He flipped the ball really hard, upset with himself for not getting more yards, and boy, that ball came up and almost hit the official in the chin. I thought, no. He didn't mean to do it. I'm sure the official knew that. So 4th down, 2 to go for Jacksonville. See if they can convert here.
2 right, 1 left for the Indians. Taylor in the backfield alongside Searles once again. Play clock winding down. Jacksonville going to take a timeout.
Let's take it with them.
We will step away for just a moment. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the past 40 years, Swink Studio of Dance in Jacksonville has provided instruction in classical ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, and contemporary dance styles for students age 4 through high school. Select classes for adults and award-winning competition teams are also available. For more information or to enroll a student, contact the studio today and let's dance.
Welcome back to Eagle Stadium. Lindale leading 49-7, but Jacksonville trying to punch one in here. 4th and 2. Jermaine takes the snap, runs up the middle, gets tripped up, picks up the first down, but he had enough room to score there if he had not gotten tripped up.
Yeah, he did get tripped up about the 5 and just kind of slid into the end zone on this wet turf. He gets to the 3, but it's 1st and goal Jacksonville. So we go under 5.5 minutes to go in the ball game. The Indians threatening to get on the board here for the 2nd time tonight.
1st and goal for Jacksonville. 2 right, 1 left. Taylor in the back. Searles. Jermaine takes the snap, running to his left, trying to find
he's in
a seam, and he gets in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Taylor from 3. Behind the pile push. The tush push, they call it now. Of course, you don't need to push Jermaine too hard. He's strong enough to push his own tush, if I could say that right.
Great run there from Jermaine to get in for the score. And that'll bring
off the Tomato Bowl. Team shaking hands now. Stay with us. We'll get head coach Jason Holman's post-game comments on the All Smiles post-game interview. Guys, let's hand out some awards here. Well, I just said the Bone Crush. Congratulations to the senior Jermaine Taylor, who is going to graduate after next week's game as far as football. He's still going to play some basketball, let me tell you. And then the future of Jacksonville, Darius Searles, the co-offensive players of the game. Defensive player of the game, you heard us call his name all night long. He's also the spotlight player of the week, senior Trent Powell from his safety position. He's the Austin Bank defensive player of the week. Guys, I'm going to toss it back to you. You can start the stats, Todd, and then we'll get Jason Holman here in just a moment.
All right, we'll bring Todd in here to give us the post-game stats. And, Todd, let's start with Jacksonville.
Jacksonville finished the game with 33 rushes for 181 yards and 4 pass completions for 75 yards. Individual stats. Rushing, Searles finished with 14 carries for 112 yards. Jermaine Taylor had 13 carries for 61 and 1 touchdown. Ryan Walker, 3 carries for 3 yards. Brendan Richards, 2 carries for 3 yards. And Didi Maras, 1 catch for 2 yards.
Okay, Todd, let me interrupt you. We got Coach Holman here who's trying to dry off a little bit. Good luck with that, Coach. Well, Coach, I appreciate the way you guys fought at the end and got that last touchdown and put it on the board right there. Didn't give up, and got to appreciate that. But, boy, Lindale's got a good football team, and they're playoff bound. We can tell. They're a good team.
Yeah, and we knew that coming in. Like I said at halftime, we got to take advantage of opportunities. We had them. When you don't take advantage of against good teams, you're going to come out on the back end more times than not. So we got to take advantage of them when we have them.
Coach, you go home next week, last game, Henderson. You won that game last year over in Henderson. It's really a big game for your seniors, last game at Tomato Bowl, and you know those guys want to get a win, and especially the first win of the season. And I know it's going to be an interesting week of practice for your guys and trying to get everybody healthy and well because everybody wants to play in their last game as a senior.
Yeah, and that's what I just told them. I said, we're going to get those that need treatment in tomorrow morning and get them taken care of. But I told them at 8 o'clock when we go in as coaches, we're going to get the game behind us and we're going to start on Henderson because if we can play to our capabilities, we got a chance at a win, and we want to do it right for these seniors going out.
Coach, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles post-game interview. Guys, I'm coming up to draw off.
Sounds great. We'll see you in just a minute, Matt. All right, let's finish out our post-game statistics brought to you by Randy Gorham CPA. We've gone through a couple of the Jacksonville statistics. Passing-wise, maybe not the best night, which, probably a lot of that has to do with
the weather did not help us any. No.
But, a pretty successful night for Jacksonville on the ground. We had Searles over 100 yards, which, is a great achievement to have a 100-yard rusher. And I'm sure him starting the game definitely helped with that, as I think we have not necessarily seen him start very many games. He comes in and plays quite a bit, but I'm not sure if we've seen him start very many. But a big game from him tonight, and we're really going to need big games from both him and Jermaine, probably on the ground next week against Henderson.
I agree. Yeah, and I agree with what Matt said. We'd love to see